In the year 2347, the Kryll Empire made first contact with humanity. In 2349, they began raiding human colonies. In 2351, a Kryll commander named Zek'thor killed a farmer's dog during a routine raid on Harvest 7. That same day, Earth's High Command received a 7-word message that made their most decorated admiral close her eyes and curse. John Wick Protocol activated. Marcus Webb. Harvest 7. The Kryll had no idea what those words meant. Within 6 weeks, they would beg humanity to make it stop. The Kryll Empire had conquered 47 star systems without meeting real resistance. Their warships were unstoppable. Their soldiers were engineered for combat. When they reached Earth's outer colonies, they expected the same easy victory. Commander Zek'thor led the raid on agricultural station Harvest 7. The humans there were farmers, not soldiers. They surrendered within minutes. Standard protocol meant seize resources, catalog specimens, and move on. A human named Marcus Webb knelt in the dirt with the others. Beside him sat a small creature with 4 legs, brown fur, and loyal eyes watching its master. Zek'thor pointed at the animal and demanded to know what it was. Marcus answered quietly that his name was Cooper, that he was his dog, and that he wouldn't cause trouble. Zek'thor had seen many alien pets before. Most were useless. This one looked weak and harmless. He raised his plasma rifle toward the creature as a show of dominance. The dog didn't even growl. Marcus spoke one word, asking him not to do it. Zek'thor fired anyway. The dog died instantly. The other Kryll soldiers laughed while the humans gasped in horror. Marcus didn't move at all. He just stared at Cooper's body as something changed behind his eyes. Zek'thor ordered his soldiers to take the prisoners to holding cells and process them with the others. The Kryll filed their report that night stating the raid was successful, resources were acquired, and resistance was minimal. They noted one terminated animal as an irrelevant detail. 3 days later, every communication from Harvest 7 went completely silent. The Kryll sent investigators who found the station intact but discovered something terrifying. Every single Kryll soldier was dead, and Marcus Webb was gone. Earth's High Command received the encrypted message at 0400 hours. Priority Alpha Classification. 7 words appeared on Admiral Chen's screen that made her blood run cold. John Wick Protocol activated. Marcus Webb. Harvest 7. She immediately ordered her staff to get her everything on Webb right now. The file appeared on her screen within seconds. Marcus Webb was 34 years old, former Special Operations with the Solar Marine Corps, retired after his wife died from illness, and moved to Harvest 7 to start over. He brought only one thing with him, a rescue dog named Cooper. The file contained another section marked in red with restricted access warnings plastered across it. Chen opened it with her command codes. What she read made her close her eyes and whisper a curse under her breath. Before retirement, Webb had been part of something called Project Cerberus. It was Earth's blackest operation, designed for one purpose only. When someone hurt humanity badly enough, when revenge was the only answer left, they activated specialists like Webb. These weren't soldiers anymore. They were weapons with one target and 0 restrictions on how to reach it. The protocol had only been used twice before in human history. Both times, entire enemy command structures vanished within weeks. No trials. No prisoners. No mercy. Chen opened a channel to the Kryll Empire's diplomatic frequency. She needed to warn them what was coming, not because she cared about the Kryll, but because she knew what Webb would do. He wouldn't stop with the soldiers who killed Cooper. He would burn their entire chain of command to ash, and nothing in the galaxy could stop him now. Marcus Webb moved through the Kryll supply depot like a shadow made of vengeance. The facility orbited a gas giant 3 systems away from Harvest 7. Intelligence said this was where the raiding parties restocked between missions. Intelligence was correct. He had spent 2 weeks tracking the Kryll ships that left Harvest 7. 2 weeks learning their patterns, their routes, their weaknesses. 2 weeks remembering Cooper's eyes as the light left them. The Kryll had superior technology. Their armor could withstand plasma fire. Their shields could deflect most human weapons. But Marcus wasn't using human weapons anymore. He had taken everything from the dead Kryll at Harvest 7. Their rifles. Their codes. Their identity chips. He walked through their own security wearing one of their faces, using technology they never expected a human to understand. The first guard died without making a sound. The second one managed half a scream before Marcus crushed his throat. He moved deeper into the facility with methodical precision. No wasted movement. No hesitation. This wasn't rage. This was something colder. The Kryll had files on human behavior. They knew humans felt emotions strongly. They expected anger, expected mistakes born from grief. They didn't understand what happened when a human pushed all that emotion down into a frozen core and let it sharpen them into something patient and precise. Marcus found the duty roster in the command center. 43 names. 43 Kryll who had been at Harvest 7. He memorized every one. Then he set the depot's reactor to overload, walked back to his stolen ship, and watched the explosion from a safe distance. 43 names became 37. The hunt had only just begun. The Kryll High Command held an emergency session after the depot explosion. Fleet Admiral Korvax reviewed the security footage with growing disbelief. One human had walked through their most secure facility and killed 16 soldiers without triggering a single alarm until the reactor breach. The other Kryll present dismissed it as impossible. Humans were weak. They were emotional. They broke easily under pressure. Korvax had studied humans more carefully than his colleagues. He knew they were wrong. He pulled up files on Earth's military history and displayed them across the chamber's main screen. Wars that lasted years. Soldiers who fought in conditions that would kill most species. Tactics built on stubbornness and spite. The other admirals watched in silence as Korvax showed them something called the Winter War, the Battle of Stalingrad, the Long March. He explained that humans had one universal trait that made them dangerous. When you hurt them badly enough, some of them stopped caring about survival. They cared only about making you pay the price. The council demanded to know why one human mattered when the Kryll Empire had billions of soldiers. Korvax explained patiently that this human, Marcus Webb, wasn't trying to fight their army. He was hunting the specific soldiers who killed his dog. Every Kryll who had been at Harvest 7 was now a target. 37 soldiers remained alive from that raid. Korvax proposed pulling them back to the capital world where they could be protected behind the Empire's strongest defenses. The council rejected his proposal. They refused to show weakness over one human and one dead animal. They ordered increased patrols instead and declared that Webb would be found and eliminated. Korvax said nothing more. He simply marked the 37 names and began counting down. 6 weeks after Cooper's death, Marcus Webb had reduced his list to 12 names. The Kryll Empire was in chaos. Their soldiers refused to go on raids. Their outposts reported ghosts moving through their halls. Their communications were filled with fear. Marcus didn't care about their fear. He cared about the 12 names still breathing. The Kryll had tried everything to stop him. They sent hunter teams with their best trackers. Marcus killed them all. They set traps using fake intelligence. Marcus saw through every one. They even hired mercenaries from other species who specialized in tracking humans. Marcus left their bodies floating in space as a warning. Admiral Chen contacted him on a secure channel that she knew he still monitored. She told him the war was escalating because of his actions. The Kryll Empire had mobilized 3 full battle fleets. They were preparing to strike Earth's colonies in retaliation. Innocent people would die. She begged him to stop. Marcus listened to her entire message without interrupting. Then he sent his reply. It was a video recording. He sat in the pilot's chair of his ship with Cooper's collar in his hands. He spoke directly to the camera with a voice that carried no emotion at all. He said that the Kryll made their choice when they killed an innocent creature to show dominance. He said that consequences were not negotiable. He said that 12 names remained on his list, and when those names were crossed off, he would stop. Not before. He ended the message with coordinates. The location of the Kryll High Command's hidden war bunker. Nobody outside the Empire's inner circle knew that location existed. Marcus had found it anyway. Then he added one final line before ending the transmission. He told them that if they wanted this to end, they should hand over the 12. Commander Zek'thor sat alone in his quarters on the Kryll homeworld. He was the last name on Marcus Webb's list. The other 11 had died in ways that terrified the Empire's military. Some were killed in locked rooms. Others disappeared from guarded compounds. One had been found in his own command ship with every crew member still alive but the commander's throat cut with precision. The Kryll High Command had finally listened to Admiral Korvax. They pulled Zek'thor back to their most secure facility. 5,000 soldiers guarded the building. Orbital defense platforms surrounded the planet. Warships patrolled every approach vector. Nothing could reach him here. Nothing human, anyway. Zek'thor tried to convince himself it was true. He remembered the dog. Such a small thing. Pathetic really. He had killed it without a second thought. Now that moment played in his mind on endless repeat. The door to his quarters opened. Zek'thor spun around, plasma rifle ready. Marcus Webb stood in the doorway. No armor. No weapons visible. Just a human man with empty eyes. Zek'thor fired 3 shots directly at Webb's chest. All 3 hit the personal shield generator Marcus had stolen from a Kryll general 2 weeks ago. Marcus walked forward slowly while Zek'thor backed away and screamed for guards that would never come. Marcus had already killed them all. When Zek'thor's back hit the wall, Marcus finally spoke. He asked if Zek'thor remembered the dog. The commander nodded frantically. Marcus pulled out a small photo of Cooper from his pocket. He told Zek'thor that his name was Cooper, that he was a good boy, and that he deserved better. Then Marcus made his choice about how this would end. The next morning, the Kryll Empire contacted Earth with unconditional terms of withdrawal from all human territories. They never explained why. They didn't need to. Marcus Webb returned to Harvest 7 and buried Cooper's collar in the dirt where his friend had died. The John Wick Protocol was deactivated. The hunt was over.